Hey gang, I'm a little early, but I see folks are already hanging out, so hey, welcome to Kahuna Help. It's a Tuesday, and you know what that means. I'm here. Let's see. So what am I working on? We've been talking a lot about the Game of Tomes thing. I think everybody's having a great time with it. And I was thinking of a minor tweak. And so I've spent the last 24 hours thinking and working on that minor tweak. And that is, what if we could present a map where each house was presented and it could be updated nearly live. Certainly whenever someone entered new information, like one of the streamers puts in all the counts for each house, it updates. And what would happen on the map is things would get, the dots on the map for each faction would grow as their word count did. To the point that at some point you're going to be able to see factions running into other factions, houses running into other houses, and make it more of a combat looking thing in the sense of how it presents. So let me switch over here to the screen share, and yeah, that froze up for a second. Awesome. Cool. So we're on the screen share. So let me now load up the right version of Chrome here. And we'll get that set up. Normally I do this off screen, but I saw that we were having a little bit of a hole there, so I thought I'd pop it in. By the way, if you are a Game of Tomes writer, I will accept your counts. I don't have this stream set up for sprints. But I will accept your totals in. So, and you know, my bot will tell you that. Oh, hang on, Macaro. I can't see your, can't quite see your, there we go. Couldn't quite see your chat. So, let's see. This is going to be the, oh, I see it now, and sorry to hear that, Macaro. We'll see you. I'll be on tomorrow morning. Unless, of course, Streamlabs decides it's going to be a butt. Which, at the moment, it looks like it. Awesome. Actually, it looks like the throughput's good, so I don't know what's going on there. And we'll close that just to make sure. I'm going to close this. And that. So welcome all. That's what I'm looking for. Things are slowly catching up here. Anyway, yeah, so welcome all. What I like I said, what I'm trying to do is trying to figure out if there was a way in the future that we could do a visual representation of what was happening with Game of Tomes or other such events. That's the word I'm looking for, is events. Yeah, that's the one I want. That's the window I want. So we'll let this pop up on screen. When everything starts up all at once, it gets funky. There we go. All right. All right. If you guys are having problems seeing this, let me know. Edith, welcome. So, yeah, so up on screen is what I've been working on. So what I did was I created just a faux map. And for simplicity, just for my testing, this map has only 5 factions plus a separate symbol for what would be the 6th faction, or what is the Undead Horde in Game of Tomes right now. But I'm trying to make this generic for anything. The map is just a simple map I whipped up this morning through Wonderdraft really quick. Literally, there's no detail on it other than just landmass, because that's all I needed. Yes, it looks like a map because it is a map. So what happens then is, this is actually a chart that can be updated through a Google spreadsheet. So for example, let me see here. Where's my data? I've just started using this particular package today. So I am a little slow on getting it to work. Or how to do it. Let's see here. Nothing on. Let me close a few things here and speed it up a little bit. Actually, let's go ahead and reload it. So the basic idea here is, right now, streamers fill out a Google form. It dumps everything into a spreadsheet, and then that's tabulated nightly. But what if we could, as streamers, or anybody else who's collecting points, could put that in, have it auto-update, and update a map so you could see what's going on? Oh, well, thank you, Edith. I appreciate that. Yeah, apparently all of a sudden some of my connection has gone a little south, and I don't know why. A little strange. I'm trying to see the chat, and it's not doing it. Rather large delay, so yeah. It may not be on your end. It may be on mine. That has happened. I'm waiting for this page to reload so I can see it. Hey, we may have a data issue on this end, because I'm having slow reload times as well. Pages just aren't responding very quickly. So that could be it as well. But yeah, so the basic idea is we'd fill out the form, it would update the spreadsheet would update this map, and the map would show you where everyone's how big of a lead, or how big of a number of words everybody would have had. Let's see, I'm gonna just exit that page. It looks like it's just not behaving, so we're gonna go back to it in a second. It's simplified in that each area will be represented by a big circle. They'll all start off as dots and then slowly expand based on the space, based on the responses. And there we go. It just didn't like that. So the advantage of who had the most word count, who had the least word count, it'd be very easiest for us to determine who's going to be lost. But then you could do things like, okay, when the words of a house get moved now to the bigger house, to the house that won, and it gets absorbed up, or they get parceled off to the other houses. Kind of like what we're doing now. It would require some reimagining of how we do it. And again, this is nothing official. This is just something I've been playing with for the last 24 hours because I thought this was kind of a fun idea. Things just are not moving quickly here. I don't know why. Is the internet dying? Is Twitch dying? Because I can get no connection to Twitch. I can get almost no connection anywhere. That tells me I should probably check my upload and download speed here. So I hope you guys are having fun with Game of Tomes. I'm having fun watching you guys. I'm not writing myself. But I am having fun watching you guys write and collecting the totals. Let's see here. Yes, we're not exactly zooming along here. Okay, good. So the delay's not affecting the video. Yeah, I think there may be a Twitch issue here, because Twitch just doesn't seem to be responding whatsoever. Yeah, my speeds are looking good. So just checking everything else to make sure. Yeah, it looks like everything's good. Just things going slowly. Really slowly, speed-wise. Let me get rid of a few other things here just to make sure. We're going to try to make things as quick as possible. So anyway, that's the basic. Once this all finally loads back up, that's what I've been working on today and yesterday. Basically because I really don't feel like writing. I have not had the writing muse for a few days now. I tried yesterday. I got about 500 words done yesterday, 560. Oh, but it just could not work any further. I know that a few folks have already finished. Already one nano have hit their 50,000. Wow, this page things are just not loading. And of course, everything worked perfectly right up until I hit live. So, been one of those days. So let's see if I can load it this way. I'll try loading it a different way. And of course, I have another piece of software here that's just not responding. It's showing that it's closed, and yet it's not closed. Yeah, things are just not running smoothly. Oh, there we go. Things are catching up. Oh, it's finally connected to the chat room. Awesome! I can finally start reading what you guys are writing. Yeah. I know a few people. I think Dinosaur Bob has hit has 1 nano. I think Chrysalia has, and Siobhan, I believe, has. So we've got people hitting it, which is awesome. It keeps telling me welcome to the chat room. This stream is dedicated to you guys. If there's anything that I can help with, if you need someone to bounce ideas off of, if you need, we can call it advice, we can call it kibitzing, we can, whichever you like. That's what this is here for. It is here literally for you guys to be able to ask questions, me to ask questions of you, to go back and forth and see if we can get past any roadblocks that we're at. I know writing, I think Dinosaur Bob won. I think he did. I think he hit it, I want to say yesterday. So I think it's possible. It looks like my speed's coming back up finally. I don't know what is going on. It's the usual, you know. By the way, how's the music? Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys, or it's, you know, or you probably don't even hear it. I'm still waiting for this page to load. Woo. It is being one of those days. Let's try a reload and see what happens. You're keeping a list. Cool. Well, who's on the list? Tell me. Like I said, I think Bob hit it. I think. But who's on the list? I'm excited because that's, especially, what, 13 days left? That's huge. With 13 days left, if you've already written 50,000 words, you've been doing some typing. Be interesting to see how well the Undead Horde does from here on out. With an increasingly more likely chance to take over a house. It does. It does have one. Just want to listen while I wrote, so I'm here to hang out. Yeah, I'd like to check out my map. It's not loading. Dang it. It grumble, grumble, grumble. I think I'm going to have to do this the ridiculous way, which is to absolutely just shut down Chrome and start it back up in a minute. So, look, a black screen. Siobhan, Chrysalia, I thought so. Coffee, cool. Natalia, cool. Sleepwell, Eli, Diana, and Happy. All of them have made it. That is so awesome. I mean, that's insane. That's a lot of words to write in such a short period. I mean, just a little over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. You got 50,000 words in? Dang! That's what, 20,000 words a week? So you're averaging almost 3,000 a day? That is pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Let me have to set this up so you guys can see it. Now that I've restarted Chrome. I've written about 600 words. In case anybody was curious. I know, you guys are impressed with that. Can I spell that word properly? There we go. And then I'll have to tell it. I mean, that is an amazing piece. Game of Thrones participants have contributed 1 million words. Wow, I may have to change the way I set up my map thing. And I misspelled it. Info. And this is probably not the best way. Any words are good words. Well, yeah. Well, think about it, Sable. You have kind of been the lead in creating and motivating a million words. That is spectacular. Kudos to Shy for also kind of pushing this through and making it go, and to all the writers, everybody. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. So I'm waiting for Chrome to start up. I don't know why it's taking this long. It's just been weird. I've got throughput. I've got everything. It's just weird. It's Chrome thing. What happens if I just search for it? Oh, I know what I can do. There we go. Let me try that. Let's see if that comes up. What I love about this, the group that we have doing Game of Tomes, is it's such a supportive, awesome group. While it's a competition, it's a fun one. And nobody's trying to keep somebody from writing. Everybody's trying to keep them busy writing. It's the best form of competition. Let me help you be your best. Let me try to be my best, and let's see what happens. That is absolutely awesome. And yes, as my bot has just reminded me, I will take your word counts. I don't have a sprint going, which, by the way things are running at right now, it's probably a good thing, because it would slow the clock way down. But I'll take counts. I'll put them in. I have no problem with it. We had a pretty good day. It was about an average day on the Kahuna Quiet stream. It was about 3,000 words. So that went well. Let me now... This page is almost loaded. And I can show you guys the map. I feel like Dora the Explorer should be walking in with the map. That's not it. I love it, awesome, so pleased and proud of. Yeah, I mean, what else could we really have hoped for? I mean, the competition part is secondary to it. It's just a way to add fun to it. Come on. I have no idea. There must be like a whole bunch of Chrome processes in the background that are just killing things. Oh, it's almost loaded here. I can show you the map. Then I have to remember how to do the data. Come on. It's almost there. Go to something else. Oh, that's not it. So when, Sable, are you thinking you want to see the next event like this? Finally managed to add up all the various chapters and bits of fiction this month for Nano, and my total for the month is 22,000. So you're right on track. Maybe slightly behind for 50,000, but you're right on track. And 22,000? It's taken me a year to write 22,000 words. There it is. Now I can put it up on screen. That took forever. That was painful. There we go. All right. So this is 26,000 in 13 days. It's a little less than 500 extra words a day. Let's see here. Where's the data come from? There's a click here for the data. And layout. There we go. There's the data. All right. Yay! I'm almost there. Not happy with this number. I spent 3 of those days not writing at all. That's okay. This should never be about pressure to write. You couldn't write? You didn't write? Okay. In fact, what you should look at is take those 3 days out and take those days out of the 20 out of the 30. Okay, so 27 days. 50,000 prorate it down by basically 10%. You should be going for 45,000 because that would be writing the same amount in the days that you did write. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself some leeway and some love. You're doing great. All right, so you can see the map up there. So basically, to make it simple, when I was working on this, I only put in 5 factions plus, I call them the Bashers, the Undead Horde. And you could tell they have a different logo up there. So now, in each of those, where is it? ¿Dónde está? Oh, somehow that got shifted, that's why. Hang on. There they are. The dots are coming back. Hey, knock it off, dog. Dog looking for my attention. Edit data. Let's reload this from the page on which I created it. The layer got moved, apparently. So anyway, you can, and you may or may not be able to see the dots on the screen. They're just above where they should be. And again, this is one of those things I'm going to have to work on. It's loading the data that I created for it. The idea is, just like we do now, okay, so you can kind of see the dots now. There's a black dot here. There's a red dot here. Blue dot's kind of in there. They're all in the basic right area. So let's say, and right now it's just a phone number that I threw in. You can see them. Awesome. Okay, so let's say the first group today had a total of 1,000 words written. So then what we would do is in the spreadsheet, it would show up, and it would pull the information from the Google spreadsheet, and all of a sudden, once this updates, you'll see what happens. We should have seen what happened. It's taking its time. Okay. Apparently I didn't have a big enough number in there. All right, so let's say total for that house was 10,000 words. what we should see. Oh, duh, my fault. Because of where I'm pulling it. So let's say 10,000 words, and let's say that works out to 0.1% of the total. What you'll see at some point, insert 12 hours later meme, yeah. Do I need auto update on? I will need auto update on. Unfortunately, with this site, that's $19 a month paid annually, which I don't have at the moment, so I'm using the manual update. But the problem is that I'm changing the fields in this particular. Okay, so now you can see it. It got a little bit bigger. I'm changing the fields manually in here. So you can see that now the blue now has a slightly bigger dot. Let's change that to a total of 1% of the total, as opposed to 0.1. Well, let's say that this green group down here got 4%. And what you'll see is, as this updates, those areas will grow bigger. There's the blue. They got up to their 1%. And the speed on this is entirely my computer. It has nothing to do with anything else. All right, Sable. You're kind of seeing what the idea is now. Boom, and there's the green. It caught up. So you can see as these get bigger, let's say this gets up to 20. What will happen is the circles get bigger until at some point they are crossing over, which will give us an idea of where everybody is in relation to others visually. It's still very much a work in progress. This is something that I whipped out since this morning. Yeah, see, that's what happens when they hit 20%. All of a sudden, wow, they're huge. And I think what this would allow us to do, we did the news update last week. This would allow us almost to create a storyline behind that. So, we could say, the first faction has increased their numbers dramatically, dwarfing the third faction and encroaching on their territory. We could do something fun like that. So, again, this is something I've been playing with all day. I'm sorry it's going so slowly, but that's been my thing with technology the last few days. Actually, last few weeks. So let me switch over to a screen that's a little more computer friendly. There we go. So, interesting, the chat is behind. How did that happen? The chat's invisible. The chat box needs to move. Yeah, it's got a little ways to go, Diana. It'll get there. That's not what I wanted. It'll get there. I've been known to play with these things for days. Nah, not the keyboard. You got to slap the entire laptop. Oh, your keyboard. And here I thought you just thought it was really awesome. There we go. I thought you were just saying it was really, really awesome. Apparently that was just the keyboard being a pain. Yeah, so that's how that works. So at some point I'll have something, but I was thinking of maybe doing another event myself, and seeing if anybody in the ASC wants to do it. But I think World Ember's coming. World Ember is coming. World Ember's coming. My keyboard hates my new setup. Got it. And thank you. World Ember's going to make things a little too busy. I think January, everybody's going to need a break. So I'm thinking that gives me till February to come up with something kind of fun. And it's early enough that summer camp doesn't get in the way. And hopefully there aren't too many other events and all that stuff. And who knows, maybe the world will be returning to some semblance of non-craziness or less craziness by then. So folks won't be as stressed, and this will be a fun thing. What about a year of writing one? I'm intrigued. What do you mean? A year of writing one. I could just write the word one? No. Like a less stressed, still competitive, long-term thing. I could do that. That would be kind of fun. The only hitch with that is, as I have learned, is that unless there's a time frame, people just lose interest. And I also don't want to compete with Summer Camp or Nano or World Ember. So it's easy enough to do because it's just a matter of collecting. But I don't want, this stream exists because of World Anvil. No question. Eliminate just once a month instead of weekly. Yeah. This stream exists because of World Anvil. Plain and simple. I use World Anvil almost daily. The people I have met and that I stream with come from World Anvil. I'm on the inner sanctum of World Anvil, although I don't, ask for a ton while I'm there. But I like to be able to have that input if I need to. So I do what I can to support World Anvil. I try not to use tools or other things that could take away from World Anvil. So if you see me writing on stream, it's usually in a World Anvil product. It's not necessarily always the fastest tool for me, but in terms of integrating everything together, it saves so much time that it eats up, and any place where it's a little slower gets made up for in all the integration. So I'm a big supporter of World Anvil. I think if you are writing stories, this is not Kahuna Quiet Stream. I think if you're writing stories, if you're writing games, it's a phenomenal tool because it allows you to take all your ideas and on the fly, it's like, you're writing along and you think, gosh, I really need to talk about this guy's past. You can go and with one click create a quick little stub that's got the basic information that was just in your head, and you can just go back to it when you're ready. Without ever leaving the stream that you're in now, you just simply add to it. And I think that's invaluable. I've said many times on this stream and other streams, I've had the same story in my head for 30 years, 35 years. Not until I found World Anvil did I find a way to really take all the disparate pieces of that story and start to bring them together into one cohesive unit. So I really highly recommend it. Yeah, Dianica, I really do recommend it. And I get nothing out of it. I pay for World Anvil. I don't get it free. I pay for it because it is a valuable tool, an incredibly valuable tool. Is it going to solve every problem? Oh, Edith's got a count. Is it going to solve every issue? Absolutely not. But it is going to, I think it will help you. And you know, there are some folks who look at it and go, yeah, this doesn't work for me. Okay, that's cool. But the fact that, for example, they've added in this manuscripts feature if you're paying for at least a guild membership. And let me quickly add to the Mollusca count 318. So that puts you guys at 2641 for the day on my streams. That is awesome. Awesome. You've been ignoring the stream to write. Okay. That's fine. I will still collect your words. Happily. But yeah. Is World Anvil the perfect tool for you? I don't know. You'll have to check it out. It can be a little intimidating at first because there's so much. But once you get into the rhythm of it, it's awesome. Outside of Nano, it would give me ways to work on my stories when it's just not flowing. Yeah. Best House needs to win. The thing is, pardon me, with World Anvil, my writing comes in fits and starts. There are days where I can crank out 3,000 words on an article, not even thinking about it. There are days where 300 words in the entire day would be a good day. And part of it's because my brain squirrels a lot. Oh, well, thanks, Ethan. No, glad to be here and glad I can help. My brain squirrels. So I'll be writing, and just like this project, this map thing that I've been working on today, that's my brain squirreled. People were talking with Sable yesterday about suggestions on stuff that could be done, and this idea of being able to visually see how things are going in nearly real time, if not real time. And if I paid for this, if I pay for the subscription for Infogram, it could be real time, and I may find another solution that doesn't require me to pay money. But basically, if I could find a real time solution where you could have the maps, I mean, think of it this way: every streamer, what if every streamer who was collecting points could have in the background of their stream a map? And as points are reported, those circles on those maps grow. And you are watching in real time as these counts go up. So you can see which house is going across all streamers. I think it would be huge. Feel me on the brain squirrels. 3 days off of writing was like writing. Yeah. I was wanting to map out something for my story that I decided I'll probably try it. Total squirrel thing, but I'm going to do it. Yeah, and that's just it. World Anvil lets me do that because I can be writing. Oh, dang. That gives me an idea for a map. And I go off and I draw the map, and then I bring it back into World Anvil, and then I go in and put all the labels in, and I go do everything I need to do and go, oh yeah, why did I need that map? Oh yeah, I needed that over here. Oh, I need to create this character. Great, I'm going to go over here and I create this character. And I'm able to just go all over the place. It feeds my ADHD brain. It lets me go wherever I need to go in that moment so that I can continue to be creative. What stifled me for 35 years. Literally, I'm coming up on a year on World Anvil. What stifled me for the 35 years before that was that there was no simple, quick way for me to do that squirreling and not lose everything. I was, I'd have, these things full of them. You know what it's like to look through like 5 of those to try to find that one little note you made yourself a year and a half ago? You probably do. don't have to with World Anvil. I can just put it in. It's done. If I don't ever touch it again, I don't ever touch it again. But if I need to, it's there. And Demetrius makes it easier and easier to use. The new feature at the top, where you can put something in the search bar and it will show you any reference in your world to that term or that phrase, whether it's the name of an image, the name of a map, an article, a category. It's all there. You don't lose these things anymore. You go, boat. Bink. Here's the boats you've talked about. I didn't call it a boat, I called it a ship. Ship. Bink. Here's the ships you've talked about. It's all there. That is insanely powerful. No, it's a full text search at this point. It's a new one. I think he's only had it up there for a couple weeks. It's basically a full text search. I mean, it's searching everything. So it makes it so easy to find stuff. Let me see here. All right, we're going to try this. We're going to see what happens. Actually, well, all right, we'll do it that way. Let me try pulling up my World Anvil dashboard. If this doesn't take 17 years. Hell, it's loading. That's a good sign. Yeah, it just for that little piece, it's like, oh my God, because I don't lose those ideas anymore. They're there. I can go back and look at the oldest pieces I have in there and say, oh yeah, I was going to work on that. They're not lost. They're there. Before, I had to sit there and try to search through all the lists of all the names of all the stuff. Now with this new search, I can just put a name in, put a place in, put a date in. If I've written it, that's awesome. Kai Brightwing. I know a Kai. Is it the Kai I know? We shall see. All right, so it's coming up. And what I'm talking about is this search bar up at the top. And I'm going to let the page load completely because it's going to be quicker that way. All right, so the page is pretty much loaded at this point. Well, it's about halfway loaded.
You have a bad toothache.
You have a bad toothache. I'm sorry. Mrs. Kahuna has a toothache.
It's that same tooth.
It's
all
what?
All of a sudden, that same tooth.
Oh.
It hasn't hurt for months.
Did you take any?
I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm up here to tell you.
That was Mrs. Kahuna. She's got a bad toothache. Current story is a lit RPG, which means it comes with some of those need to track elements like quests and quest pros. Exactly. Exactly. This is what's going to work for you. So let's say I have a character I have not touched in a while. His name is Skalter. And I can never remember what his last name is. But I can type Skalter up at the top. And what you're going to see in just a second is the top of the page start to fill with references to Skalter. If my computer ever catches up. Yeah. It's a tooth that's bothered her in the past and been fine for a while. And now all of a sudden, it's complaining at her. While we're young. Ay, ay, ay. This computer is not making me happy. What the heck happened to that? Oh, it's not on the screen. Yes. Slowly but surely, I'm getting to the point where I can get a new computer. Oh my goodness, it's taking that long to load that image. World Anvil is way faster than this. I promise you, this is my computer, not anything else. And now it's misbehaving on this page. There we go. You can see it start to load now. Popped up the top of the page there. And again, my computer's just slow. But in a second here, you're going to see the references to Sculptor. So here you go. We have articles. There's no categories with Sculptor in it because I don't have anything named that. But I even have the images. So I can either edit or look at any of those just by clicking. So I've got Cesare Warware, which I believe is Sculptor's mother. You've got Lormal Shadowfall, his father. Orchelonian individuals. One of the countries in my world is Orchelon. He is an individual from Orchelon. Sculptor Shadowfall, that's his actual character. Battle of Koru Boban is a myth or a legend with him in it. All of those are connected to him. It is searched through all of those to find it. And then I've got access to all the images as well. It can be literally that quick. Obviously, much quicker on your end. But man, if you forgot about an article, you know, let's try another one. At the risk of slowing everything down to a crawl. I wrote an article for summer camp about the Dyan, D-Y-A-N. It's a pseudo-religious group who are also rather nefarious. And I just put in Dyan, and when it comes in, it comes in. Oh, and look out! Hey, miss! Gonna hang out here till the end of your stream when I go live again. Okay, then. Welcome. I was just showing off World Anvil a little bit, especially the search function at the top and the new way that it works, because it is, I think, especially for writers, but also for gamers, or RPGers. This is an amazingly good tool. Hate to raid and run, but I really need to get away from the screen for a bit. Totally understand. I've been sitting in this chair now since 8 hours ago. I have an iron bladder. But yeah, I put in Dyan, and these are the articles on the left that they are mentioned in. And the images that they are mentioned in. It really, really helps. Again, is this the perfect tool for you? I don't know. But it is the best tool that I have found for doing this kind of stuff. You want to create a map that's interactive? You can do that. You want to create a timeline, a visual timeline, also interactive? You can do that. It's built into it. There are, let me show you the articles and categories page. There are templates built into World Anvil that give you prompts for how to build elements of your world. It seems overwhelming at first, because within templates are sub-templates. For example, an organization, well, it might be religious, it might be military, it might be governmental. Those are all possible from one template. Doesn't mean you have to fill out everything. It's not that they're all religious or organizational and military at the same time. Well, they could be. The fact of the matter is what it's there for is not to say, you must fill this information. No, it's there to say, hey, here's some ideas. Here's what you can work. Can you link timeline markers to articles? Absolutely. Like X, Y year will link to article. Yes. Then there are actually two ways to do it. You can create a specific individual little blurb for the spot on the timeline, But you can also include in that a link to a full article about it. So you can see it. You can even have, a graphic, an image in there, and the timeline showing this is, that maybe has the background, and then have the link in that, related article. You click on it, bang, it takes you to the full article where you can go full blown on it. Yeah, that's in there. And it just all interconnects. You can use a map to go to articles. So for example, you can create a map and then put pins on the map. So you supply the background map. The region you're going to talk about. Now you have an interface that lets you put pins on that map that scale with it. So if you zoom in or zoom out, the pins move with it because they are independent of the graphic. And those pins can take you to articles, or they can take you to another map, or they can just be informational and have a little pop-up that describes what's there, which is awesome if you want to pinpoint a spot on the map, but you don't have an article yet. You can just say, big pop-up, this is what this is, and there's a blurb about what's there, but you haven't created anything for it yet, so you don't link it to anything yet. You just know it's there, and if somebody comes and sees that map, they'll know that there will be something there, or that's going to have some importance in your world. So it's a super awesome tool. My computer's still trying to load the articles list. Sorry, Demetrius and Janet, it's not showing off your stuff very well. I really need a new computer. Just the way it is. This is usually very, very quick. Does it have a blueprint thingy? Like, could I map out a dungeon raid building and change it as needed? Or would you have to do that elsewhere? The answer is... kind of. So, one way you could do it is through maps that link to each other. Map of a room, click on this door, it opens a map to another room, and so on. You could do it that way. Yeah, my computer needs to be fired. This poor little laptop is... It's trying very hard. So that's one way you could do it, is create a map for a room, then link that to a map for another room, so on. You could do it that way. Another way you can do it is there is a... that wasn't what I wanted to load anyway. Oh! So now I get to load another page. The another way that's coming, that's in develop now, is Project Deos, which is a mapping software that will be integrated very, I don't want to say tightly, but it will have a very good integration with World Anvil, so that you'll be able to create maps there that can come into World Anvil and be able to use it for battle maps as well as world maps. So that's Project Deos. It's being created by the folks at Dungeon Fog. So if you're familiar with Dungeon Fog, same guys. They're working with the team at World Anvil to put together a mapping system that's going to work within World Anvil as well. That's coming. It's in alpha right now. I've tested it. It's got some cool stuff, but it's alpha, so it's bleeding edge. But you can do it even without it. The only thing you're going to miss, kind of, is fog of war effects. You can create layers on the maps. One way that you could create fog of war type effects is you can set up layers. You can have what are called subscriber groups, people who basically have access to different things on the world that the average viewer would not. So they could be paid patrons, they could be people in a game, whichever. So for example, a map could come up and you see nothing, but because this player has access to that map because they're a player, or because you've given them access. Now, there could be another layer that they have access to that shows them more of the room, or all of the room, or all of the area. So you can create a simulation of the fog of war. It's not as smooth as they walk, it opens up. So it's not like using Dungeon Fog or Foundry or any of the other tabletop systems. But it can work. Again, it all depends on what your focus is. If your focus is to game, there's one way to go about that in World Anvil. If your focus is to write, there's another way. But the beauty of it is they tie together. They work together to bring everything together as a cohesive unit. So, you can keep track of NPC characters, you can keep track of player characters, the whole 9 yards. It's also, World Anvil itself is system agnostic. It doesn't care what you're writing for. However, there are some elements that are geared towards specific RPGs. However, the list of RPGs that are supported are huge. It's a huge list. And you can create your own. I'm in the process, one of my squirrel things is creating a gaming system. And the funny thing is, what I do is I write my stories using the gaming system that I'm creating. So I'm pseudo solo playtesting my gaming system while I write the stories to make sure that they have some interest. And that the gaming system is not totally useless or cumbersome. So far, it's working out. I've made some changes because of things I've noticed, but it works. So they work together. They don't compete. They are just two different sets of tools within the same toolbox. And really, that's what World Anvil is a giant toolbox for writing and creating. So, I wish my computer was doing a better job of showing you what was going on. Right now, it's trying to load the entire list of articles. Well, thanks, Pi. Everybody's trying to get to the Mrs. Kahuna's Pie Challenge. For those of you who don't know, the Pie Challenge basically is the opportunity for you to contribute Kahuna crowns down there. And when it hits 400,000 Kahuna crowns, which is, we've got till pretty much the end of the year to do it. When it hits 400,000 Kahuna crowns, Mrs. Kahuna will take a pie crust, fill it with whipped cream, live on our Friday stream, and hit me in the face with it. And I will complete the stream with said pie. Our Friday stream is the Kahuna Happy Hour stream. Nope. We don't talk a whole lot about writing. Actually, we do talk about writing because Mrs. Kahuna is an English teacher and was an English major. So we do talk some about writing, and if people have questions about writing, we talk about it. But we talk about pretty much anything. We talked about pizza. Working late and lurking, but here are some pie points. Thanks. Great. We get closer to me getting socked in the puss with a pie. Looking forward to that. I don't know why I let somebody talk me into that. I'm gonna have to think of a new challenge after this, because Mrs. Kahuna's not gonna go for the pie in her face. Nah. Yeah, you are working late. I mean, it's kid. That's got to be about 7:30 for you. Always glad to help. Yeah, I'm sure. And Mrs. Kahuna's glad for that help. Caffeine. Nothing. You're always glad for the help in the pie challenge. She says, "Oh yeah." Mrs. Kahuna heard her name from downstairs while I'm broadcasting, but she can't hear me when I'm talking next to her in bed. Not when we're in bed. Working on Black Friday stuff. Oh, so sorry. I have done retail and e-commerce Black Fridays. That's why I don't do retail or e-commerce anymore. Oh my God. Whew. The worst one is in the last couple years that I worked in retail, Black Friday was a bust because all you really got were the people looking for the doorbuster deals. And so you'd open at 5 o'clock in the morning, and by 6 o'clock, the joint is empty. Because if they didn't get their doorbuster deals, they're out. And then you don't see anybody till like 11 o'clock, but you're staffed for 6 hours. Crazy. I do like the fact that there have been a number of places are going, hey, we're going to give you Black Friday prices, 2 weeks early. I've said that's the smart way to do it, no matter what. If you know what the price is going to be on Black Friday, do it now. Sell it out. Do whatever you're going to do with it, and you're ahead of the game. I think Black Friday is going to go away in not too long a period of time. Work on a pretty big e-commerce site I've definitely heard of. Yeah. Can I has a 50-inch curved Super HD monitor for $2, please? That would be nice, actually. Except, here's my problem. Right now my screens are, I think I got two 27s in here. 25 maybe. I had a 34. You have to back up from them because they just get too hard to look at. Drew the short straw making the Black Friday ad page. Ooh. Yeah. I was in marketing when I did e-commerce, and I was like, you can't compete with that big company named A. And they tell me, but you're going to. Yay. Okay, so this is the list of templates that you can use. And you can see at the top, it starts with, you've got these three at the top are ones I have created personally. You can create your own templates. And of course I created them and I really don't use them much. Sit back on my screens anyway because of how my desk is, so I'm cool with that. Okay. I'm squashed into a little space that's, well, right now I'm reaching forward and touching the wall in front of me. And if it's on screen, that's about the space that I have. And the green screen behind me. Because there are two of us stuck in this little space. I wish I had a bigger space, but I don't. And yet I have a laptop and two monitors on here. And what I really want is a desktop with a third monitor. So anyway, so the article's here. So a generic article is an article for anything. Look, you don't think it fits to anything else, put it in generic article. You can format these articles however you want. You can put headers in, you can do whatever you want. You can put columns in, put your images in. So none of these are required. You can do everything as a generic article. You're just going to have to create sections for each thing that you want to stick out. I have a rolly table with a pull-out keyboard tray. So it moves. That could make for an interesting afternoon. Building. So the buildings can be ruins or they can be, current buildings. And it's got prompts for the history of the building, when the building was built, who owns the building, how was the building destroyed, how was it built, what kind of a building is in it. You can actually describe rooms within a building. So you can say, you can go to the building prompt, but just do it for a room. And again, it gives you prompts. Use them or don't. That is the key thing, and I think it's the thing that a lot of people get hung up on with these prompts, with these templates, is they think, I have to fill out every prompt. No, you don't. Fill out what makes sense to you. They're there to give you an idea. They're there to spark some thought and let you create depth in your stories. Because you can write out this whole thing, what's the architecture of the building? What is the decor inside the building? What kind of materials were used? Those are all things you can think about, because you know if you're in a desert, they're probably not building from trees. So what are they building out of? Desert, you might find some big rocks, but you're going to have a lot of sand. Did they figure out how to turn that sand into something to build with? That's the idea of the prompts. You start writing the prompt, go, oh, I need to figure out how they did that. Now you're off. Squirrel. Character, same kind of thing. Condition. Condition can be a disease. It can be something that happens, say, from poisoning. It could be any kind of condition that can affect an entity in your world. And again, it's just a series of prompts. Conflict, usually a military conflict, can be all kinds. And it doesn't have to be a big battle. For summer camp, I wrote a conflict that was between a boy king, a teenager who became king too early, and one of his guards. That was the conflict. And especially when the young man king challenged the guard to a duel and then realized, I just committed suicide. He's going to kill me. And again, country, document, ethnicity, geography. I mean, it's all there. Myths and legends, military units, professions. There's even one for session reports. If you are gaming, you can write a session report. The one that's a little different is the prose. Pretty much every page on World Anvil is set up with a main body section and then a sidebar down the right-hand side. Prose is a little different. It doesn't have that sidebar. It fills out the whole page, which is great if all you're doing is writing a story. Frankly, I started using prose when I was writing my stories and then realized I was making a huge mistake. Why? Because I like using the sidebar there for everything else. Little tidbits of information, maps to the area, descriptions. You know, I have a tavern. I was able to create the menu board, so it looks like it's on a chalkboard. That's how it works. That's the beauty of all these. They are simple to use, but they are also just suggestions. Use them or don't. I hope I'm at least enticing you to give World Anvil a try. I do not think you will regret it at all. Again, it may not be the tool for you. Some people find it a little daunting. Some people find it's just too much. I find that if you tend to do the squirreling like I do, it can actually save you. It can actually be pretty awesome. So, all right, we got another hour on the stream. We've we've repped out World Anvil pretty well. How are you guys doing with writing? Is anybody doing writing now? Is anybody kind of using this as a background for a sprint? Let me know. I am collecting the counts. Counts on my stream today. Yeah, ADD's insane. Hi, my name is Kahuna, and I squirrel. Counts for today. So far, nobody from Avis has written on any of my streams today. Neither have any of the zombies. I don't know where they are. Writing code for work. Yay. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I actually like writing code. Partially because I'm not great at it. I'm good. I'm okay. But I learned to write code back, in, basically elementary school when I started. And, how many years ago. And I was writing in BASIC And what I liked about it wasn't just writing the code and making it work. I loved the puzzle of figuring out why it wouldn't. How it worked, how it ticked. How long are we streaming? Another hour. I'm on for another hour until 5:30. It's 8:30 Eastern time. I'm on a break until coffee stream. Hers worked best for me for timing sprint breaks. Awesome. Hand is hurt from last night. Oh. Do I want to know what happened last night? Decided to set a firm no writing till her stream for myself after the semifinal ended. All right. You know what? Awesome. Take care of you. That is one of the things I really like to get. You started a VIC-20. There you go. Mine was a Commodore 64 after a Timex Sinclair. A little chiclet keyboard. It wasn't even chiclets, actually. It was membrane. Thanks for the follow, Sleepy. What I really like to make sure people do is take care of themselves. You can't be super creative if you aren't taking care of yourself. You need to have the resources within you to bring the stories out. Just a push to try to get 1667 in less than 30 minutes. Oh. No big injury story to entertain everyone. Make one up. Make one up. You were typing so fast. The speed was so quick that your keyboard flipped into the air, and in trying to catch it and stop it from damaging yourself, it whacked you on the wrist, and, time stopped. I'll back you. I can make up a story on the fly. I was really good at that when I was a kid. Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. And look, I can be the biggest hypocrite about that there is. There's usually somebody on my end who is going, "Hey, Kahuna, knock it off." Usually happens on the weekends when I work in the backyard and I start trying to carry cinder blocks across the yard for a new wall. And they remind me, "Hey, did you have heart surgery?" My body says yes. My body was in to shut down all day, slept 10 hours overnight, another 6 hours during. I have no idea why it happened. It happened because you needed it. That's the answer. It happened because you needed it. And as long as you feel better afterwards, forget guilt, forget, "Oh, I didn't write," forget, "Oh, I didn't take care of chores," forget that stuff. If your body feels better, you needed it. And that's exactly what you should have done. Gives an origin story for the lump on my wrist, too. 2 for 1 tall tale. There you go! There you go. See? Everybody's got to have at least one origin story. Everybody. Yeah, Eli, I would say that's exactly what's going on. Is it you've been pushing hard and your body's going, time to slow down. Time to slow down. I've had to learn that the hard way. I used to push myself. Somebody's been kicking my butt all week. Thanks, Pride, for following. I had to learn the hard way. I used to work graveyard shift. I was a supervisor in a card room, world's biggest poker room. I was one of the supervisors, and I was still trying to be a dad and a husband when I got home. So I'd be up all night. I'd try to sleep while everybody was at work and school, and then try to be up for them, and then go to work. And my days off were not the same as theirs, so it just didn't match up. It eventually caught up with me and ended up having to have a triple bypass open heart surgery, from which I tried to go back to work, and my body said no and put me back in the hospital 3 more times in the next 6 months. And at that point, I had to quit. Not sure if I feel bitter, feel sluggish and blah. That's a sign of your body catching up. Go back to bed. That's what I do. But yeah, my body taught me a lesson. Said, hey, sorry. You're done. In fact, the thing that made me quit my job, and technically I didn't quit, I just couldn't go back, was my cardiologist saying, hey, your kid's in high school, right? Yeah. You want to see them graduate? Well, yeah, of course. Quit your job. Yeah, right. No, quit your job or you won't see them graduate. To which Mrs. Kahuna said, you're quitting. Have a solid meal with orange juice or something with it, not junk or all carbs. Sure to have a meat or alternate protein. Yep, go with protein. Same way after my long sleeps. After the surgery, the tough part was remembering that I'm not going to be able to do the things I used to be able to do. My body says no. Or hell no. Tried to auxiliary, hurt me too many times, and worrying on me something fierce. Going older sucks, yep. Yeah, the Kahuna Preach stream. Yes, you have. It's Kahuna Help. I'm trying to help. I had to learn the lesson not to push myself harder than I can physically do it. And when I do, I pay for it. There have been times where I push myself on the weekend to really get a project done. I push and I push, and I'm stuck in bed for 2 days. I've had to cancel streams in the last couple months, more than once, because my body said, no, you're done. One of the reasons I changed the way the Kahuna reads streams go now is the fact that at that point I was streaming 6 days a week. I wasn't taking any time off. I mean, I was working my tail off in the yard Saturday all day and Sunday half the day, and then streaming 3.5 hours a day every weekday, plus another 2-hour streams. My body said, that's too much. So take care of yourselves. Please. You guys are awesome. All of you. If nobody's told you today, I'm telling you, you're awesome. Please take care of yourselves. We all want you around. How's that for a preach? Keyboard is fighting back and won't let me slap it anymore. Quiche and pork cutlets for dinner and some kefir. I don't know what I'm having for dinner. Hey, Mrs. Kahuna. What are we having for dinner? Oh, Cajun goulash. I like Cajun goulash. Thanks. Thanks, kid. I enjoy doing these streams, but I really enjoy it if I can help you guys. And I don't care if that's with writing, with creating a map, with coding, or with just being your cheerleader. And I will be your cheerleader. Kefir's an acquired taste, lighter probiotic yogurt that you drink instead of eat with a spoon, tangy and creamy. Ah, yes. I've had some at like a Lebanese restaurant, I think. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Eli. I I don't say those things for you guys to tell me, but I do appreciate hearing them. I in many ways, I am very, very fortunate. You know, and we have fun on Fridays. If you don't have other things you're doing, if you're just sitting around or whatever, our happy hour stream on Fridays starts the same time as this stream, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. It's me and Mrs. Kahuna, and we just have fun for 2 hours. And we talk about whatever we talk about. When is Kahuna Reads scheduled now? So, Kahuna Reads doesn't have a set schedule now. Kahuna Reads, I try to put one out at least every other day. But a minimum of 3 times a week, because I am doing something a little different with them. I am making them more produced. Oh, you caught it with red. Oh, yeah, that was that was a stream. I was watching it on the big screen downstairs and dying laughing. And we're going to try to get Siobhan, I think, is going to be this Friday. Siobhan's, I think, going to be a guest for this during Friday's stream. But I just couldn't. I couldn't produce because of all the technical issues. I couldn't produce the Sunday streams, and it was just killing me. So now what I do is I pre-record the sound. That's how I talk with the friends. Okay. We pre-record the audio, then I go in and add graphics, sound effects, music, and make it a little bit slicker production, and then just release them one at a time. I've released 3 since Friday. 2 of them have been Time Pool articles, and the last one was Sables. So I'm due for another one today or tomorrow. I've got it started. I just haven't. It's going to be a little trickier one. It's a Carillion's Pete. So if you've read it and you found it kind of funny, I'm hoping you're going to find the read funnier. Because I'm just taking Q's words and doing them up, and the graphics are going to be just a lot of fun. But they're taking me more time because they're a little bit more intricate. So that one should be out. I don't think I'm going to make it tonight. I don't think I have enough time. I don't, because I'd have to render and then upload. Those 2 processes alone are about 2 hours. The Bomb Pete? No, not the Bomb Pete. Pete, the unassuming guy who no one really has ever seen. That one. Yeah, no, I'm trying to. What I'm doing actually right now is going through all of the World Anvil Summer Camp Award winners and doing them one at a time. Yes, the Pete who runs the world. May or may not know that he does, but yeah. Yes, there are parts in there, about, he posts funny cat pictures. So, of course, I had to use a funny cat picture. I'll be back soon. Need to yell at teen for refusing to do chores. We have one of those left. Totally feel your pain. You know what? Take the keyboard with you. Thank you for mine the other day. Did 2 of them. Did I have 2 of yours? Oh, yeah. When I did the Kahuna Read stream, the last actual Kahuna Read stream. Yes, I did. No, thank you. I will probably, anything that I have done previously, after I get through with the summer camp stuff, I'll do any new ones that have been submitted on the Kahuna Reads channel in my Discord. But I'm probably going to go back and do some of the older ones to give them a little bit more life. Because it's a whole nother thing. And I put credits on them. Like I said, I put music to them. So they're definitely something that you can share the individual one on your websites or on your world. So if I read your article, you can put a link to the read, the video of the read, or embed the video into your page if you want. 2 articles win summer camp. Oh, you're going to get there. They'll be there. Which ones were they? Well, hang on. Oh, no, I don't have it up. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to do it. It gets me to be creative. Hopefully it lets people see what I can do in terms of the voice reading and some of the production. It's not high-end video production, mainly because I'm using, a webcam and a laptop. But these, I do use some of the stock footage stuff and other stuff that I create, and we have fun with it. So yeah, just look for those every couple days. I always announce them on the World Anvil Streams channel, because what I do is I upload them, and the premiere of them is on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch simultaneously. So all 3 get it. So you can see it in any of those venues at the same time. And I just announce, what time it's going to be up in the Discord channel. So we have one more avenue for people to know when it's on. So I will definitely, and I tag you, by the way, if it is your article, I tag you so that hey, it's coming. Birthday and technology. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I will tag you when those are up. Like I said, next one is Q's. I've got a little bit more work to do. I worked fairly late last night on it, and my eyes just went bleary. And I'm coming up to a section. What I'm finding is that, at least with the software that I'm using for editing the video, there's no real easy way to do a typewriter style effect, or more accurately, a computer screen words typing across the screen effect. So I'm actually having to manually create that effect. And of course I want to time it so that as words are being spoken, the words are appearing on a screen. That's a little bit trickier, and it's a lot of work, that part. But the effect when it's done is really, really fun. Oop, hit a lull there. Sorry. Couldn't figure out where I was. All right. So we've talked about World Anvil. We've talked about taking care of ourselves. We've talked about how awesome you guys are. We talked about that kind of offshoot project of Game of Tomes that I'm thinking on and working on with the mapping, which I think would be really fun. What ideally I would love to do is come up with a map that fills in an actual map as opposed to just blurs, plots, but it's very difficult to do that live to where it auto updates. So that'll be fun. I'm actually thinking of doing a test version of it, maybe 2 weeks or even a month, probably in February. Let people participate in it and see how they do, just as a test run. And I'm thinking of theming it post-apocalyptically, so kind of a Road Warrior setting. So you're all the riders would be road gangs with their vehicles, and they're riding to keep the other gangs from taking their territory and their fuel. That kind of idea. I think it'd be fun to have a fun way to do it, and then it would be a much simplified version of the Game of Tomes thing because it's a test. Because ultimately, I want this to be a Game of Tomes, a way to do Game of Tomes that's just adds a little bit more engagement while taking away some of the work. Because that's been the really difficult part for many people, is the amount of work this has taken. And I have some ideas on how to do that. So that's what I've been playing with. World Ember. I got to do my homework on World Ember. But I do plan to participate because I need to get some writing done. I've worked on my gaming system a lot. I've worked on maps. I've been working on a bunch of stuff and really have neglected my writing for close to a month. So I think World Ember is going to be focused on knocking out at least 4 chapters in my story. Working on a D&D campaign for World Ember. That would be cool. That would be cool. So by campaign, so an adventure, the whole thing, the maps and everything, or just the basic storyline. That's either way, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, mine, like I said, it's mine. The whole thing is the storylines. I have the storylines here. Hey, welcome back from screaming at your offspring. Or threatening them with a keyboard, whichever works. My storylines are all kind of, it's a fantasy role-playing base. And like I said, I've been using my own gaming system to play it and to play test my game. So, whole shebang. Maps, adventure, roll tables, excellent. Excellent. A noble effort, sir. Wait, sir? No? Let me know, Pride. I like to make sure I use the right pronouns. Told her if she doesn't do her chores, she can't take part in the finals on 4T debut. For the words. Okay. I know very little about For the Words. Very. Like I know that that's what it stands for. Because I saw somebody else use it. They, them, he, his. Cool. I like to use... We have our remaining offspring at home. Our youngest is gender neutral and is they, them. So it has taken me the better part of probably the last 2.5, 3 years to get better at the pronouns. I'm still working on it. Still working on it. It's something I struggle with, but it's something I need to get better about. Welcome back, Sable. Hey. Oh, I wonder if that page is up that I can show. I'm not going to make any changes to it because it'll take forever. There you go. So that's it, Sable, right there. What the heck? Oh, now it's going to take forever to load that. There it goes. Yeah. Sable shows up and everything slows down again. It's you, isn't it? You are slowing down my computer. I use that as a punishment because she hasn't had to do chores for a couple days because the semifinals, if she's going to refuse to do them now that they are over. Yeah. I see. Yes, look. The blank screen. Awesome. Oh, another mollusca count. 1475. Jeez. Gotta get the calculator out for this one. Of course, I've been getting the calculator out for all of them, so let's see. 2641 plus 1475. Mollusca now has in my streams Over 4,100 words, 4,116 to be exact. And total in my streams today, 5,053. 5,000 words today. That is awesome. Killing it, Edith. Killing it. It'll be back up in a second, Sable, I promise. That's awesome. Awesome work. Yeah, I'm impressed with you guys. The most I've had in my streams to date, I was fairly early on, was a little over 13,006. That was a busy stream. I'd love to see us beat that one, because that's a huge number. But hey, you're no slouch. Look, it's still loading for Sable. What the heck? Well, hang on. There it goes. All right. So there it is, Sable. So basically, depending on the numbers that are in a Google spreadsheet, which of course we would populate from forms, this updates. Random roll D&D I got to name after myself. That's very cool. So as the Google spreadsheet updates, these circles get bigger. In a single day of writing, or we'll have it. Wow. All right, Edith, I'm impressed. Like I said, good day for me is 3,000. An average day for me is about 350 words, not 1,000, 350. Yeah, so the way it would work, Sable, is that using a similar form to what we are using now for the reporting, this would feed into a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet would be set up to auto total, and this pulls directly from that spreadsheet. So those numbers could update live. So as numbers change in the spreadsheet, those get bigger and bigger. So you can actually see who's winning. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you stuck it as part of your background so that you could see what is going on in the world around you on a stream, live. Record for single day writing was 13.4. Whew. Pride, the emotion their parents felt upon giving birth to them, ascending to do with astrology. Very cool. Very cool. It sounds like there's an origin story in the works there. Best day was between 11K and 12K, but that was 2000 before I restarted this carp. Best day was under 6. You know what? You guys, don't be down about counts. You do what you can do. I want to give people hugs and say, don't worry about it. You did what you could do. That's it. Can't ask for any more. Some days it's great, and some days it's not. And all of that is okay. All right, so let me change a number here so you can see what happens if numbers change in the spreadsheet. So I changed the value for the greens. And once that updates, you should see that green circle go because I made it a lot bigger. A lot. Any second now. There it goes. It's syncing up the changes. Boom. And now you can see they are overlapping with their neighbors, which could make for interesting stories. That's the basic way I would map it. How that all works into the process, that's down the line. But I wanted to at least do a proof of concept that this works and can be done. So, for the future, and what I had talked about Sable, is that maybe doing something in like a test run in February. Something post-apocalyptic themed. But I don't want to stomp over anything that World Anvil is doing or anything that ASC is doing that's already planned. So if there's something planned, I will move it. This would be a test run for this, because if we can make this work, then we can turn around and make it work even better for Game of Tomes, which is the goal. Because I think it would be awesome to have things update in the background as we add counts. I mean, it would be, to me, it'd be kind of cool. You could have just the form, especially if we could make the form nice and thin. You could put a browser window, really thin on one side of your screen or somewhere hidden away from you, and then just as somebody reports, you put it in. Bang. You put it in. Bang. You put it in. Bang. As it happens. And then watch those change. So that was the idea anyway. Where are we at? Okay, about 20 minutes left. Anything you guys want to talk about? Throw it in the chat. I've had a great afternoon so far. You guys have been a lot of fun to chat with. You would have to prevent house hopping if you were going to show it. We have had some conversations about how that could work. Cool idea, would look awesome. Clear, direct, and visible ongoing tally of the totals will simply change the nature of the game. But right. And that's the thing, is that's why I kind of want to do a separate version that's not Game of Tomes, to see where the kinks would be. In other words, there's no real prizes. It's just, and if it's only half a dozen or a dozen people participating, great. To test it, to make it work, and to find where those holes are. The house hopping is an issue. Do they see that their house is losing, so they jump to the one that's winning? Okay. Maybe there's a way to limit that. Maybe there's a way that there's a cost for that. Maybe it's a time frame limit. Maybe it's a limit on number of writers they can accept. Maybe you can. One simple one would be, you can never hop from one house to another if the house you're hopping to is ahead. In other words, you can't be a fair weather participant. Just a thought. I'm throwing things out there because I understand where the house hopping would be an issue. In this particular map, if you had people from the blue say, well, green's winning, I want to be in the winning team, and they jump over to green, that's a problem. But you could tell them, you know what? You can't jump to green because they're ahead. You can't just jump ship to the winner. Or there's another way to do it. I don't care. Interesting experiment with post-apocalyptic theme, something or other in February. I don't think there is either. April, the RPG guys are going to do Adventure April. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? I think every 2 months, we have a whole lot packed from, say, July to December. Summer camp goes for an entire month, and then we have a month off, and then there's Preptober, Nano, then World Ember. January's got to be off. January's got to be the recovery phase. But February would be to me, that's almost like a test system. 1 million words is what has been written so far in Game of Tomes. That's incredibly awesome. I don't necessarily want to look for a test that big. I want to test the ideas and roll them out in a way that they can be used for other events as well. Hey, here's how this works Go, use it. Something very simple so that people can figure out how to do this, and just to take those steps forward with each event to make them more entertaining, more engaging, and more than just, okay, I dropped my number in. All right, what did that mean? I do think daily counts can be exciting. I think the house hopping is just the one issue that really has to be dealt with. Perhaps another way to do it is alliances, where different factions can pool their resources. And there are ways maybe to trade that. Not sure. I'm spitballing. But that would be kind of interesting. In this case here, the poor little red guys who are almost nothing ally themselves with the blue guys, and now both their totals work together as a group to take down the big guy. And how long does that last? So, yeah. Yes, I'm making a game out of this. I'm doing the gamifying, and all based on writing, which I think is kind of cool. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure when Game of Tomes was first being discussed how well it would go over. You guys hit it out of the ballpark. Really did. It's going very well. I'm enjoying participating in it, being, Kahuna the collector. But it's gone very well. So I think it's a great bedrock to build on. So Sable, once again, awesome job. You and Shy and the rest of the ASC gang who put this together. Awesome job. Or maybe it's a slow golf clap. Neither was I. You know what? Sometimes those are the best ideas, the ones you go, is this gonna work? Yeah, sometimes those are the best ideas. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we also, but it also gets back to that self-care thing. We need to get to where we need to make sure that we are not overwhelming folks with stuff too, because that's one thing we learned with summer camp. And some of us, especially Heffa was insane. The streaming every day thing, literally he was streaming for 3-4 hours every day. It's a burnout situation. I don't mind. Kahuna Quiet doesn't really take anything out of me here. I'd be sitting here anyway. So I can communicate with people over chat. I can help people with chat in chat if they need it. I can do, whatever, and go about what I'm normally doing anyway. So for me, that doesn't add that much to it. But I gotta admit, I do. There have been days where I'm like, I don't know if I want to get up and do Kahuna Quiet. And I kind of force myself to do it. Part of it's because I need to get my butt out of bed. And I know that it's not that difficult. It's just waking up, getting caffeine in me. But it can lead to burnout. And I think we need to make sure that whenever we're planning events or any of these fun these fun competition type of things, that we leave some time for people to recover. I know there were a lot of streamers, a lot of them, during summer camp that are not streaming now, or streaming sporadically now. Certainly not with the intensity that was there during summer camp. I get it. It can be hard. Heck, I went to the point at one point that I was, the Kahuna Happy Hour started because I tried to do what was then called Live from the Kahuna Lair from the car on the way out to Arizona to my daughter's engagement party. And Mrs. Kahuna got involved in that, and ever since she's been on camera every Friday, almost every Friday. So, I've gotten caught up in that as well, but which is why I've cut back some. I think we need to make sure we keep those times there, and I think as writers, again, it gets back to the making sure we are engaged in self-care. As writers, take the break. There's nothing going on in January. Take January to just kind of reset. It's the beginning of the year. You just got through the holidays. They're going to be very weird holidays this year. Certainly not the type of holidays we're used to. So take January and decompress and evaluate where you are and what is going to work for you. Don't keep pushing. Give yourself the time to recuperate. Give yourself the time to recharge. Get yourself back into the groove slowly and gently. We'll try this, this game in January. And if people like it, then there'll be a version of it later. And maybe Game of Tomes does takes up some of it. Maybe we look at it and go, wow, this really kind of sucked. Oh well. But maybe there's elements that Game of Tomes could take up and say, that part we really liked. Oh, great. And then you could take another month or two off, and then we're getting ready for summer camp again. March and April, well, there's the April event coming up. That's the RPG event. So you take March off, April's an event. May's off, June, you're prepping for summer camp. In July, we hear, yeah, weird holidays. I mean, we 2 weeks ago notified our family that Game of Tomes random colors. Yeah, that could work. Colors based on the size of your word count. That could work too. Weird holidays. We notified family almost 2 weeks ago now that we're just going to do Thanksgiving at home. We're not going to, have family over. It's basically going to be the household. Dots are not labeled, not shown at the end of a stream. Colors don't associate with a team to most people's knowledge. So you don't know which dot is which. You just know somebody is growing quickly. That's actually a really kind of cool idea. And then the other thing that we could do is the colors, I can make those colors, instead of being static colors, they could be a range of colors. So the color changes based on the value of it. So say it's like a light green to start, but it's a dark red for the one that's the farthest in the lead, or the one that's got the biggest total. So as your totals grow, your colors get darker and darker and darker. That could be cool. I like that. I like that. See, this is why we discuss this stuff. So yeah, Thanksgiving, we're not doing it. And that's what I mean by weird holidays. I think a lot of people are going to have to change, you know. I don't think even, you know, Christmas, Hanukkah, any of that, any of the end of year holidays, I don't think they're going to be what we're used to. New Year's Eve, I can't see being in a crowd with 100,000 people celebrating New Year's Eve, especially if they've been drinking. That would be a way to incorporate a warm-up with the game as it's currently played. Yeah, you don't know who you're battling. Weird as a non-traditional. Yeah, non-traditional. It's going to be weird in that it's not going to be our normal holiday. It's going to be an unsettled, different, unfamiliar way of celebrating the holiday. And you know what? I think we're all going to need some decompression from that, because it's going to be weird. I know it is here. I mean, I'm used to either having or going to someone's house, or having a group over, and having, you know, 12, 15, 20 people. Cooking a big old bird and more sides than anybody can possibly eat, and then figuring out that the bird wasn't big enough because I didn't get any leftovers. That would be, you know, that's how we normally, well, this time there's probably going to be 5 people here. That's it. 5. We're used to 3, 4 times that. Is Misa back? Are you back? What we got? About 5 more minutes. Hey! Welcome! So, yeah, yeah, I'm thinking that idea for the colors is kind of cool. You have things muted. Cool by me. Yeah. If we could do those colors. So you don't know who the color is until... Or you don't ever know who the color is. You just know at some point somebody loses and somebody wins. And then what I would suggest is... And I don't know if we're doing this with Game of Tomes. So, Sable, if it's already happening, say so. But that you take the totals that have already been amassed when a house gets split up. You take the totals that have been amassed and apply them equally to the remaining houses. Because what that can do is... Well, let's see. Yeah, break it in thirds. Just an idea. In thirds. 1/3 goes to the house... Goes to one house as the winner. The second third is split over the remaining houses. And then the third one goes to, say, like the Undead Horde. It's one way to do it. Because in theory, if this is a war thing, if someone is eliminated, it's because someone eliminated them. And they should therefore have a benefit to it. The non-social aspect of the current situation is really depressing me. It's dealt a major hit to my psychological trust. I totally understand. You know, the problem I have is that I am a triple what do they call it? Triple risk. I have a heart condition, I have diabetes, and I'm over 55. So I'm a triple risk. Oof. So I understand, because I've got to stay away from people too. Divide it by the number of people and have it go with the people. Adding to winner just seems to really bad. Said Siobhan is more than I think. I would rather people not redo the number system till we actually see how this... Oh yeah, no. Like I said, I'm spitballing. And like I said, I will probably try this with a whole different game, because that way, if it does result in a ton of chaos, it doesn't get used for Game of Tomes. It get used for something else. This doesn't have to be the same thing, but Game of Tomes can benefit from anything that we learn that works. That's my goal. I don't know if what we got will work until the final results are tallied. Right. Yeah, I'm totally with you. Yeah, I'm simply thinking of something smaller where we can try it out. That doesn't work? Great. Throw it out. Game of Tomes stays the way it is. Or it gives you ideas on how you can make some changes well before we get into the planning of Game of Tomes. I mean, I figure this coming year, Game of Tomes will probably start getting planned probably right before summer camp or right after summer camp. This would allow us to test things 4 to 6 months before that, and different variations of stuff. So, this could be, for example, as for a test run, could be something where it resets weekly, and we test different rules each week. And instead of every 5 days there's elimination, it's every day. Yeah, I mean, we can do it. We can do these tests with a minimum of interference to anybody else. And it's just, we try things out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't get moved into it. But we can try them on a small scale and see how they really work and see if it's a benefit or not. All right, gang. I hear Mrs. Kahuna smacking her ladle on the pot, which tells me that she's just about done cooking. So I am going to bid you adieu, and excuse myself. Who are we rating? Who's up? Who is up? ¿Quién va a recibir nuestro raid? Yes, I speak Spanish. That's what happens when your parents are from Argentina. Good night, Pride. Thank you for coming. If you got no place else to sprint tomorrow, you can always drop in anytime on the Kahuna Quiet stream, 8:30 Pacific to noon. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, Diane. Masades is up. Excellent. Then off to Masades we go. I think perhaps in the final battle stream I'll break down what we did do and how it worked, what we didn't anticipate. That makes sense. So I will put up, and tell Aaron I hope he feels better, because I saw a little bit of the stream and he just looked in terrible pain, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So let's raid Misa. Yeah, Eli, I totally get it. I really do. I mean, it's. I'm an introvert, so it's not as tough for me. Believe it or not, I am an introvert. I can speak to a group of people like this without a problem. Put me in a room with a bunch of people that I don't know, and I'm not the one that is commanding the attention, and I get really, really nervous. Oh! Did I miss Eli's count? For some reason it's not showing up on that stream. The raid is not... Man, everything's slowed to a crawl. Oh, I know why. Dang, Google. Let's try this again. Oh, no, thank you for being here, Sable. I really appreciate it. You know, and like I said, this stream particularly is to help out in any way I can. If you need a cheerleader, I'm here. You need you're stuck on an idea, I'm here. It's the one way that I can kind of give back to you guys. I don't have a ton of ways, but this does it. Avis gets on the board on my count for 1819. That brings us up to 58.72 for the day. 68.72. 68.72 on my streams. That is awesome, guys. So the raid should be starting up. Everything's running so slow, I have no idea. The raid should be starting up, though, so please have a great evening. Excuse me. Please take care of yourselves. Again, I'll be in Kahuna Quiet tomorrow morning. If not, come hang out for happy hour, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern on Friday. I'm working to get Siobhan set up so we can do a segment of the happy hour with Siobhan live. So that will be fun. And, you know, bring your favorite beverage, adult or otherwise. Otherwise, it'll be, you know, Kahuna Quiet in the morning. I still don't see where the raid is. It's taking its time. The last 2 times I've raided, it doesn't give me the little thing that says, go now to raid. It's just a blank box. Yes, my computer's now just decided to go as slowly as it possibly can. Alright, we should be raiding here in a second. You guys have yourself a great evening. Great week. And I don't know what's going on. And off you go, it looks like. Or not. Yeah, it looks like it sent you guys out. Cool.